Welcome back to EPG. I'm Greg, your host. Today is a bit of a difficult topic for me, and I'm sure it may be for a lot of you out there. It came to mind because I feel like that in some cases I've been failing you guys. Some places that I've recommended before, such as the Bug Cafe and the Armed Forces Museum in Taiwan, are closed, and they're closed permanently. And I have a feeling that that's because of COVID and the aftermath of it. When I was traveling around in 2019, I started in February, and then I kind of ended in February 2020. And I noticed that COVID, started to get more on my radar towards the end of my journey. I remember being in Ecuador, and that's the first time that I've seen masks being handed out to people to get on planes. And it was very kind of, I don't know, because traveling around in Colombia, it was kind of like, there's this respiratory virus, and, I've lived through SARS, I've lived through MERS, I've lived through bird flu. It was kind of like, this will blow over too. But then after getting to Ecuador and then Panama and then, Costa Rica, it really started taking a toll in the world. And I just want to come out and say that every death that happened during COVID was a tragedy. But what a lot of people don't seem to realize, at least, outside of the United States, is that kind of the biggest other casualty of COVID were all the businesses that had to shut down, especially ones that depended on tourism. So there were a lot of restaurants, there were a lot of tour companies that depended on travelers coming. And then when the entire world shut down, that, kind of stopped their incomes for themselves and their families and businesses, communities. And so a lot of them closed. And, when I was going through my notes and seeing all the places that, I've been, some of them have closed and not to be opened again. Some of my favorite places, the places that I had the best memories of traveling, I'll never be able to get to again. And no one else will be able to enjoy them. I can't, bring my family there, or maybe one day bring my kids there. But it's very sad that this has kind of happened. And, in a lot of places outside of the United States, there isn't a social safety net. So, businesses in the United States got the PPP loans. Some people were furloughed. Some, were never officially fired so they could keep health insurance and things like that. But outside of, a lot of Western countries, that's not the case. If you don't have an income, you're on your own. The government isn't able to come help you. It's just, kind of a promise to you guys to kind of research things better before I start recommending them and, going through my memories instead of, seeing if they're still open. But also it's kind of an homage to those businesses that I enjoyed, those people that I met, going to restaurants or going on tours that just aren't around anymore. So hopefully that once, things start to settle down a little bit more than they have been, that you will go back to these places that I'm recommending, that you will meet up with these tour guides that hopefully have started new companies and new businesses, and you will go, help them provide for their families. So I want to make that solemn promise to you here right now so that I will do better. Thank you very much for your time, and get out there.